Good morning and welcome back to the Quayside. It's been a while, hasn't it, since I've been down here. I'm no longer king of the Quayside. But sometimes life's just busy. So we're back to it. Today at least, if nothing else, doing a bit of YouTube, recording the video, recording the run. So today's long run. Today's run is a long run, about 20 kilometres, a small long run, a medium long run. So I'm going to do 15 kilometres at easy pace. It's actually quite nice down here, isn't it? It's been a while since I've done a longish run. I have done the odd run down here, but different places. So 15 kilometres, easy pace, and the last 5 kilometres I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit more. Approaching marathon pace, whether we get the marathon pace or not doesn't really matter. But yeah, lovely day down to the Quayside. It's not a little bit cold. I think there's some kind of an event down on the Quayside. There's a couple of guys there with colourful purple jackets, a couple of speedy runners, quite a lot of runners out today, and there's some marker signs. I don't think it's a gated 5k, 10k half marathon this weekend. I think it's some other weekend. But morning, right. I might be in the I might be in the event photographs, but who knows? Anyway, I'm making this video to tell you about the training that I've done over the past like 4 or 5 months. So as we build to my marathon in the end of the year, which is going to have 2 big training blocks, 2 5-month training blocks basically, so about 11-month period. And the race, shall I tell you, the marathon that I'll be running is Frankfurt in October. So there's the reveal for you. Frankfurt Marathon. Yes, I know a couple of the people I follow, Strava, YouTube, they've done it. One guy I know ran his first sub 3 at Frankfurt, so there's a hint of the goal I'm going for. Another guy, well over 3 hours, Kenny. I'm not sure if it's still your PB, but he managed a cracking race over there at Frankfurt a couple of years ago, say. So I've taken on board from what people have said, and that's what we're running. But in terms of the training that I've been doing over the last few months, we started off the first month of the training block abroad. So the first few weeks are out in Japan, and I use that time to, over the Christmas period really, so we got extra bit of time. I use that time to train heavily on the aerobic side of things. I was still also doing a little bit of track work just to maintain that speed work, or just find out where I am with regards to speed work. But basically all I was doing was aerobic runs, and it was great because I could just get up anytime I liked, go out. We were lucky it was dry nearly every day, and I was doing 20 kilometre long runs quite regularly, and if they weren't that, they were there or thereabouts. So I probably managed about something close to, I don't know, 280, 300 kilometres in that period while I was away, and just aerobic pace building. So then when I came back in January, well, obviously we had the race, the Tokyo Half, which is fantastic, loved that event. I know at the other side of the training block when I was 35 in that, I thought it was really quite good, without pushing too hard, but I was pushing hard at the end. Go check that video out if you're interested to see how that went down. And then come back in January, knew I had the Sheffield race coming up, which was obviously the last couple of videos that I put out. So if you're interested to see how we did down there, go and have a look. So from January up until now has been like the core build of the training block. On a monthly cycle, what I've been doing is doing a combination of the 200s and the 400s and the 1 kilometers and the 1600s at the track. So no more than 2 of those type of runs together. So you might see me doing the 400s and the 1600s on Strava, and then the next week you might see me doing the 200s and the 1 kilometers, that kind of thing. But that was just to kind of make sure that I was doing them regularly rather than doing one day, which I kind of prefer, to be fair, of just one session of 10 times a kilometre and then the next week a session of 5 times a mile, that kind of thing. But the training response to both types of sessions is the same anyway, as long as you're doing about the same volume. So that was typical on a Tuesday down at the track, and then my long runs, which was towards the end of my last training block. I had a bit of an epiphany, an epiphany moment, and the reason, and what it was I come down to the Quayside, and it's not the best of places to train, but it's not bad. It's the best I've got. Relatively flat, but the surface changes. You've got a few bridges here and there. You get disrupted, so it's not like I can get me, I can't run 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers constantly without disruption. So what I kind of thought was, but I could do this at the track. Now everybody thinks, oh, the track, it's can't believe you can run that distance at the track, do your long runs at the track, even your 32k's or whatever. Nobody will do that track, but I did. That's what I've done in this training block, or this first stage of the training block. I have done a few long runs down the Quayside as well, because obviously the surface is different, but the surface of the track is consistent. I can put down my water bottles, my gels into the nearest few hundred metres. I can pick them up as and when I like, to suit any particular races that are coming up. So every 5 kilometres typically, you might see me, if you follow the runs, I change direction, go the other way, so I get equal wear on the bones of the body, and pick up a gel and some nutrition at that time. So it's been really, really good to dial in my nutrition, but it's been more really so I can run a consistent pace. And what I've done is, as well, instead of me long runs being full on varied pace long runs, where it's like steady for say 5k and an 8k marathon pace and steady for 8k and that kind of thing, and even faster, I've switched that out for this first half of the training to doing a bit of heart rate training, as you were. So ideally I'll be running marathon goal pace for 15 per kilometre and about 155 beats per minute. Obviously, even with a heart rate drop on that varies a little bit, so I've set myself a target of trying to run around about 155 constantly on the track, rather than pushing the pace. So just taking the edge off that pace. Usually if I'm getting up that pace and I've been training well, I'll be around about 160 heart rate. So I've set the roof got 160, so all my runs want to be a bit less than that, so they've always come down. The average is about 155. So quite happy with that, and the progression that I've seen. But it's been quite good actually in there, just trying to fix that heart rate at around about that 155, 156 is what it's kind of been coming out as. I've been gradually dropping the pace for the same effort, and the effort does feel the same. Let's say I'm taking 5%, 10% of the effort off. We're running maybe, I don't know, 7 out of 10 effort for those long runs. Pace has been about 4:35 when I started off doing them, and then dropping down gradually. The last one I did was about 4:20 per kilometre for about 22 kilometres, I think it was the last one. So really quite happy with that. So yeah, so let's say long runs 155 beats per minute, going down from 40 to 32 to 25 to 20 kilometres. On a 4-week cycle, or a monthly cycle, but obviously hasn't always been exactly quite that, because we've had races in there as well. We had the Sheffield half marathon, which was really good fun. Really enjoyed that. Popped down there to see Will as well. Showed us around Sheffield and looked after us that weekend. Thank you very much, Will. I don't think I've recorded the last 3 kilometres of the run. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Distance correction tool afterwards or something. Now we're recording again. I can run 4:15 per kilometre for long stints. I think the longest one I did a 15 kilometre. So really, there's obviously not quite where I want to be in terms of the pace of the effort for going into Frankfurt, but it is really good. I think I ran best run I did 40 kilometres, it took me about 3 hours and 5 minutes, so that's not bad. And okay, I know it's at the track, but if I kept going for another 2 kilometres, it'd probably been a comfortable PB. And the workout wasn't that bad from an effort point of view, so really happy with the outcome. And it just bodes well for the rest of the training block. You know, I'm almost there on a 40 kilometre run, easy-ish pace, moderate tempo pace. Then I've got 5 months to put it right. The other thing I'm going to do is, what I've also been doing is, I've always tried to avoid the heat in the sun. I hate the sun in terms of getting the suntan and just making it difficult for me to run, but because I don't run in the sun very much, it's difficult to run in the sun. So when it's hot, I struggle. We're going to start, rather than me getting out and trying to avoid the runners, the weekend long run at 6 o'clock, maybe I'm starting my runs at 9 o'clock. Whether I will continue the next 5 months of this training block as I've just done now, I'm not 100% sure it's going to be exactly the same. Well, it won't be exactly the same, but the intention's the same. I don't know. But it's certainly been good, so there'll be certain elements of it. Volume wise, basically the training block is pretty much similar to what I did for the Run Dream Achieve training plan when I built up for Berlin last year, but just changing the long runs a little bit. But the other thing is as well is the volume has changed a bit, so I've taken the edge off my volume. So last time I was comfortably well over, in the last half of it, over 100 kilometres a week most weeks, 120 sometimes, and peaking at 138 kilometres I think it was for 1 week, which is just mental. And that was alright, I could do it, but this time taking the edge off on the speed, taking the edge off on the volume. So roughly I've been going, I started off about 70 kilometres from January, I built up to 90 by increasing by like 1 or 2 kilometres, hit 90 kilometres for 4 weeks. And to be honest, that kind of volume is very easy when you've just come off a training block where you've been running up to 120, 140 kilometres a week. It's very, very easy. So the recovery, the point of it is the recovery should be faster. So we will see. That's made the difference. Time for a gel, I think. I think I'm about 8 kilometres in, although my watch is only saying 4 kilometres, 5 kilometres. So gel wise, obviously on the long runs I'm still taking the gels, even though today is like an easy pace kind of thing. What we at 5:22 pace. So these gels, have you seen these? Have you seen these? My good friend Paul sent me these. Thank you very much, Paul. Carbs. They're just called carbs. It's not like, well, they have got carbs in, but they're just called carbs. So quite a flat pack. That one's got 25 grams on, so that's about the same as a Morton. And then there's this bigger one that is obviously quite a lot bigger than your other one. And that's got 50 grams of carbs in there. They don't say on the packet what flavour they are, apart from original. But the white one kind of tastes a little bit like, if you've tried the Unilever vanilla, it tastes a bit like that. The consistency is not quite as thick, but they go down nice. They're very nice, very tasty. And then this one has got basically the same. Tastes a little bit vanilla-y as well, and it's got caffeine in as well. So actually quite a nice gel. quite nice to get down. Come out the packet quite easy, which is quite funny actually compared to the precision ones. I was having a chat with a colleague the other day about the precision ones. They are very difficult to squeeze out. They're really good, really tasty. 30 grams of carb in a very small packet, but you really have to put a lot of force in to get them out. It's a shame. I think I just changed the lid of it, and the retainer strip for the tear off doesn't stay on very well either. But I don't think I've ever come across a gel where that happens nicely. But anyway, very nice gel. Quayside. Got my little time. So there we are, that's been my training block over the last 4 or 5 months. You know where I've been, you know what I've been doing. We have had a couple of races in there, which has been good, and hopefully you go watch them. If you haven't, please go take a look. You know what my race is at the end of the year, the big goal race, which is Frankfurt. So I'm really looking forward to that one, provided we get this fuel crisis sorted out and the flights don't get cancelled and stuff. I'm sure it's all going to be okay by then. So I will crack on. I think I've got another 8k or so left to do now. Sun's starting to come out. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And let me know, question of the day, how I make it enough running content. Do you want to see more? Yeah, take care, hope your running is going well. Let me know what races you got coming up. If you want to ask me anything, you want to tell me anything, please do leave it in the comments. And I'll speak to you soon in the next video. Hopefully not that long to the next one. Hello. My training is going well. I mean, although I've been really busy over the last few months, I've been getting stuck into the training. I have actually recorded a few videos here and there. I just haven't got around to editing them, because recording the videos usually doesn't take too much time. It does make the runs a bit longer, but generally not too bad. But the editing takes a lot of time, so you won't believe how long it takes how many hours go into putting a 10 and 15 minute video together. Yeah, once again, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.